What up, everybody? I'm Doggie Diamonds. It looks so plain. The background looks so plain, but we gonna deal with it. What's up, everybody? I go by the name of Doggie Diamonds. This is Doggie Diamonds TV. This is Doggie Diamonds No Filter. This is the podcast version. I don't like that plain background. It's messing with me. But forgive me though. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it. So I wanted to talk to you about something because I've been putting out content that's older content. Some content is newer content. You wouldn't really know when I did it. Some could have been from 3 months ago. Some could have been from 5 months ago. Some could have been from 15 years ago. Some is going to be from 20 years ago. And I feel like I should really put out everything because it has a lot to do with hip hop culture and people's life events. So one of the biggest things that I kept seeing in the comments, especially when I did the story of Tay, Riz's cousin, I kept seeing people say, "Why now? Why is she coming out now? Why now?" And that kind of really threw me for a loop because why not now? Right? Um, when should you worry about telling your truth? Like it's a time frame when you should tell what happened to you in life. I mean, people write books and they might be 50, 60, 40, and they might talk about something that happened to them that nobody knew when they was 4 or 5 years old. And nobody says, well, why write it in a book? Why put it out now? I didn't know it was a statute of limitation on your life events or your trauma or what happened to you or even good things. If you let it be known that something great happened to you when you were younger, nobody said, well, why are you telling us now? That really threw me, I was really, really puzzled by that them why now comments. And then just some of the responses of, oh, the money ran out and all that. Like, y'all really be thinking y'all know people life and people story or what's going on and why people do what they do. Sometimes I understand because how we convey things, it's not always fully transparent, but always know is more to the story. And I seen, well, I heard, I didn't really see, I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't see. A lot of the feedback and a lot of criticism that I got for doing that particular story in particular, and I was kind of thrown back by that too. Because when we have these outlets and people come to you and they want to tell you their truth, why not? Like why not? None of this is personal with me. I don't have any personal vendetta against any artist or anything. But if somebody comes to me and they want to tell me a story and they trust me and trust my platform, then I'm gonna let them do it. Of course, I'm gonna do my due diligence. I'm gonna ask a few questions, and if I think it's a news and noteworthy story, I'm putting it out. I don't have any attachment to anybody where, oh, this is this artist or this artist is this and this is that. Listen, all of them do a lot of shit that they had no business doing. So if somebody wants to come and say, yo, this happened to me, this allegedly happened to me, it ain't my place to say, oh, a person is a good rapper or they make good beats or they could draw an act, so I'm not gonna put it out. I don't give a fuck about that. Y'all be worshiping people where you think because a person could rap or do good beats or, God, then this ain't supposed to, we ain't supposed to know this. Or people say, oh, you should have took care of this behind the scenes. You don't think some people have tried and tried and tried to be heard. And then sometimes when you're not heard, when your voice get loud, people say, oh, you shouldn't have put that out there. That's not your call. It's not your call when somebody wants to write a book, tell a story, do a documentary. That's not your call. Because within every family, you have family secrets. But then you have open secrets, and then you have secrets that shouldn't be a secret because it ain't right and it needs to be rectified somehow. And in this situation, I didn't have any investment because I don't know any of the parties involved. All I did was just do an interview. That is my job, to do an interview. The way it's other people's job to do beats, put out records, to do whatever. It's my job to do interviews. And there's nobody place, and nobody can, first of all, can't nobody tell me shit anyway. Let's just start with that. But there's nobody place to tell me don't do an interview when that's what I do for a living. Or don't do this kind of interview. Because when some of y'all mopping the floor at your job, I don't tell you, don't use that pine saw. You mop how you mop. You do what you do at your job. If you got a case, you do your case how you do your case. I don't tell you how to do it. So I was just like, huh? Like people making it personal against me. Like, ooh, you in trouble now. I always say this. I'm going to say it again. The problem with a lot of y'all is that y'all pussy. You're a bunch of pussies. Y'all still scared of niggas. Y'all still think this is a time that don't exist no more. And I have no boss. I'm not under nobody. Nobody controls my bottom line. Nobody. I do what I want, when I want, how I want. If I so choose to. There is no boogeyman in this shit to me. Maybe it is to y'all. I don't know. Maybe y'all heard a few rap songs or you believe in reputations and it got to you. That shit don't work with me. It just says what it is. I'm not afraid of nothing. And why should I be afraid of anything when I'm just doing my job? That's it. If I want to interview a talking squirrel, so what? You could always not click it. You could always not watch it. You could not watch it and not click it, like how when I talk about mental health and when I talk about being clean and sober, don't watch certain shit like you don't watch that. When I talk about things that's uplifting and things to serve us, don't watch that the way you don't watch that. It's that simple. But I was thrown back by the why now, and I was just surprised and shocked by some of the comments of even dudes saying, I fuck my cousin. You think that shit is normal? Y'all really normalize shit that's not normal. And I know we live in a computer world because we all digital. And I know anything goes. You could type whatever you want. You could say, well, you could do whatever you want. But you think it's normal to say, I'll fuck my cousin? You'll fuck your first cousin? So your mama and your cousin mama is sisters and you'll sleep with your mother's niece or nephew? You'll do that? And sometimes y'all was raised in the same house. You think that shit is normal? You think that's okay? I don't put nothing past certain people. So I wasn't shocked by the comments, but I was shocked that people are actually open with their deviance and stupidity. I was a little shocked by that. I thought people would be a little bit more discreet. But see, that goes back to how I thought if you could say it openly and it's okay to you and you normalize abnormal shit, then how could you say to somebody, oh, why now? Why are you saying something now? If you made it normal, why isn't it normal? Why can't somebody say their truth? Why can't somebody say what happened to them, especially if they feel like it was wrongly done to them? You got one party saying this was done to me, then you got another party that ain't saying nothing. They ain't saying nothing. Then I got niggas calling me, questioning me. Why you ain't questioning that nigga? What you calling me for? We'll get into that another time. Wasn't no smoke or no threats. We not gonna say that. But if I'm doing content and the content is about something, why are you calling me, asking me like I slept with my cousin? I don't know. I don't know what the hell is going on. Just doing a story. That's that. Let's move along. Somebody's texting me. Hold on. Make sure it ain't something important. Moving right along. I have a lot of content. So y'all know about the J.R. Writer fiasco. So on Patreon, though, the full J.R. Writer interviews on Patreon. The feedback that I got from that was 50-50. I got, well, I don't know why he would want this taken down. It was informative. That's what I thought. I thought that when things happen to you in this culture and the people want to know what happened, I don't care if it's 15 years ago or 20 years ago. It's a time where we had questions about, well, why did this take place? Why did this take place? I felt like the interview answered some questions. But then you had some people that wanted to go on my Instagram, like, you starting stuff. They're in a good place. Y'all don't know these niggas. Y'all don't know these niggas. You don't know what niggas is in. It ain't like these niggas is eating tea and crumpets every day on, they're in a good place now. You're trying to start stuff. Yo, this whole culture is about beef and what's going on. And I don't even think that was a beef interview. Not to me. I just felt it was giving a lot of clarity to a lot of unanswered questions. That's what I thought. And that's why I put it out. Now, he didn't want it out for whatever reason. He didn't want it out. But, you know, me and him got some unresolved shit behind the scenes because he knew he was supposed to do something by me and he didn't do it. He didn't make do on a promise. That's that. So if you don't make do on a promise for me and I did something looking out for you, I no longer have to go with the deal that we made because you breached the verbal agreement. That's that. And it's not even nothing malicious. It was just something that the people should know this. Because whether we like it or not, G Unit, Dipset, D Block, Rockefeller, Rough Riders, if you from the town, aka the 5 boroughs or New York City, all of their stories is important that shaped us. So anything pertaining to that is content gold. Because what happens is that I see these documentaries and there's always my content in the documentaries. Just pay attention. If it says whatever happened to such and such, is always my content in there. Or the green logo content, the shit that the green logo that I made. You know what I'm saying? I made the actual logo. So regardless of what, whether it's an old narrative or a new narrative, I'm always directly involved in it. So if I got the actual story, why would I wait till somebody re-put the story out when I could put it out myself? Don't that make sense to you? If you film something, you created something, it don't matter. Now, if somebody had said something about somebody and the beef was squashed and then I'm stirring stuff back up, that's different. But the truth is, dudes didn't do right by each other. And now everybody's acting like it never happened. And that's just not the truth. And you, as the viewer, the supporter, the fan, whatever name you want to go under, is always left with unanswered questions. And everybody play like, I don't know what happened. Well, I know what happened because people have sat before me and given me whole testimonies. And then they get cold feet because I be trying to free these niggas. These niggas don't want to be free. They don't want to be emancipated from their masters. They don't want to be emancipated. They don't want to be able to speak their truth freely and say, yo, I feel better now because I told my truth. No, they always want to be up under somebody's deodorant just in case a person want to throw them a bone. Just in case a person say, yo, here, they still depending on the people who oppress them. That's not me. That's not my story. So I don't understand it. So I say to people, yo, we do this, you could clean your slate and go about your merry way and live your life. They don't want that. They hope they still get the phone calls. They hope they still could be people's friend who hasn't been their friend. I don't live my life like that. So I don't understand it. It's weird to me for you to want to deal with somebody who fucked you off. It's weird to me for you to want to deal with somebody who stole from your children because they stole from you. That's weird to me. So I don't get it. I don't understand it. So a lot of people are running around with a lot of pain, suffering from mental illness and all types of shit because somebody did them wrong. And you know how I know? Because I heard all the stories. I don't have them all on film because I didn't do interviews with people, but I've heard the stories in private on the phone of dudes saying, yo, man, such and such did this to me. Now, I'm going to be real with you. I don't have a sob story about somebody doing something to me or oppressing me. You know why? Because I would have did something to them. It's just the truth. So when I hear it, I say, yo, so what you want to do? How you want to move forward? And I be sitting here being a goddamn psychiatrist and a psychologist for people, telling people how to move forward. But they be scared. I'm telling you, your favorite rapper is scared of somebody. Not physically scared, but scared of them in business. And it's always somebody that they was with before, or they did music with, or they were signed to. They don't want to move on. They rather just have the sob story or act like nothing ever happened. I don't live my life like that. If some shit happened to me, it got to get rectified. You should always tell your story because the person will put it off on you like you was some type of bum, like you wasn't worth nothing. You heard what Cam said, yo, they did a deal somewhere and the response wasn't good. That's not what happened. But I let them tell it. Hey, nobody want to tell their truth? You let him with his big outlet control the narrative. That's on y'all. Niggas don't want to be free. Niggas hope they get a phone call. And then watching some shit in the crowd for a logo that they helped build. That's on them. So I'm going to be putting out more stuff that I got. And then whoever feel away, feel away. You ain't going to do nothing. Ain't nobody going to do nothing. I'm putting out what I want. If you get it taken down, we know we got other places to put the content is coming out. It is nothing nobody can do. And like I tell you all the time, it's going to get worse. I'm just trying to find a wire or two, but it's going to get worse. I got a few things that y'all going to be like, holy shit. And it's some stuff that I didn't even record. It was given to me. But that's going to show you how these dudes do each other, how they really feel about each other. So a lot of questions that you always had is going to get answered. Hey, why not come to me, right? Why not? And for the people who make content off the content, eat, do what you do. Hey, man, I'm feeding the streets. Everybody get to give their spiel. Everybody get to give their little commentary. It's all content. Hey, it is what it is. Even if you're making it personal about me, I don't care. I know some of y'all dudes been on my dick for a long time, so you always gonna make it about me. What else you gonna do? I expect it. I don't even care about that. But for you trying to start stuff. Oh, this is gossip. How is it gossip if it's firsthand accord out of somebody's mouth? That's an interview. That's not gossip. Gossip is me sitting here saying, yo, I heard that, or niggas was saying. That is gossip. If I'm interviewing somebody and they are telling their story, that's not gossip to me. That's me doing an interview. Although they might be capping or telling gossip, that's not my politic. My politic is to question people and ask critical questions. That's it. But all you weird ass dudes in my comments, you trying to gossip and shut your bitch asses up. Get out of my comments. Y'all looking for my page to say something to me. I just smoke y'all and just send y'all on y'all way. It ain't never gonna work. This is gossip. An interview that I'm interviewing somebody, I'm gossiping. I just did an interview. Shit, I am only the founder of it, right? I am only the first, right? So at least you would think some shit I started, I should be able to do when I so choose to. Who is anybody to ask and question me when I should be doing some shit that I founded? I know you see a lot of other people and, this person might have a great, outlet and this, that, and the third. Ask them who's the founder. So I could do what I want. You know why? I ain't signed to nobody. I don't got nobody with their hands up my back, pulling strings, and I do and say what I want, how I want. And you know what? It feels good to live like a man on my feet, not on my knees. I'm not worried about nobody calling me, scolding me. Well, sometimes my cousins call me and talk shit because they don't be wanting to, have to pluck nobody out. But that's another thing, But anyway. But I don't have nobody in this industry, no rapper that I'm ever going to answer to. Nobody's ever going to call my phone and play on my phone. So for those worried about me and saying be careful out there, ain't none of these niggas going to do shit. Because they could play what they want. Everybody's perception could be their perception on this. They know some of the things that y'all don't know when we go out there. I'll leave that as that. I could do what I want. Just the truth. Anyway, if it's your story and if it's your life, there is no why now. Just sometimes you might have things that you repressed and you suppressed. Nobody has the right to tell you or question when you want to tell something about your life. I don't care if you do it on Facebook. I don't care if you do it on any social media platform, YouTube, whatever. You should always tell your story. You know why? Because if you don't tell your story, somebody's going to tell your story for you. And guess what? They're going to be the hero in your story. They're going to tell the world how they saved you from the top of a building and then they flew over on a red carpet and grabbed you and gave you some Similac. They're going to be the hero in your story. No, your story is your story. Always tell your story. Don't be afraid or ashamed to say things that happen to you. And that's not always that something bad happened. Anything. There is no why now. There is no statute of limitation on your life. If you're still alive and you got breath in your lungs, speak. Shit, everybody talking about everybody else. Even sometimes people watch me and say, yo, why you always talk about yourself? Hello, because it's called Doggie Diamonds No Filter. Who the fuck else am I supposed to be talking about? Yeah, I'm going to talk about other people, but then I'm going to liken it to my life story and events, which is long and very, very vast. So, of course, I'm always going to bring it back to me somehow that what I'm talking about, how I can relate to it. This shit ain't called fucking Monkey See, Monkey Do podcast. It's called Doggie Diamonds No Filter. Of course, I'm going to talk about me. I don't get it. I know comprehension be lost with certain people. I know. See, we got to think, right? There was a particular time in school, you had gifted students, you had intermediate students, you had regular students, and then you had the special kids. That might have had like 2 teachers, a para, headphones on, and there was like 4 of them in a class. Now, via the internet, everybody's in one class. So you can't differentiate who's who. That's not my job. If you can't pick up what I'm putting down, that's on you. If you just like to argue, that's on you. If you feel like you should make comments attacking me, that's on you. If you feel like, why now? I'll fuck my cousin. You gossiping. You want to start shit. Well, tell your story now. Well, if you had a story and you was able to tell it, wouldn't you tell it? Shouldn't you tell it? I mean, that's what shapes you to be you. Your life story. You should always speak, especially if you was a part of something historical in hip hop. Always insert yourself in when you was there and how you added on. Any way you added on, speak of how you added on, because people's job these days is to omit you from the story and make this self the end all be all, the sole controller, creator of everything. Always tell your story. It don't matter. It's not for me to say, oh, why you doing this now? Because you felt like it. But it is my prerogative to not listen. How about that? How about when something bothers you or something annoys you or it's something that you don't care about, you know what's the best way of showing you don't care? You keep scrolling. When you type, I don't care, guess what? You care because you took 2, 3 seconds out of your life to type that you don't care. So if you type that you don't care about what you don't care about and didn't type on what you care about, that this is dope and I like this and I care about this, then what do you really care about? I got some dudes I know that was like, I don't care. And I said to myself, all right, certain people play on the internet. Okay, I'm glad you did that. I'm glad you playing on the internet. So when I see you outside and I punch you right in your face, I'm gonna be like, I don't care. I just did it because I don't care. Because this right here, this is amazing to me because this got a lot of people out of character. Don't forget you still you. Don't forget who's who. You could play for the public, and I don't give a fuck what has you thinking that you're something that you're not. We know who's who when we go out there. The computer, the playing field is even. I ain't gonna hold you. When we go outside, I don't want to see nobody teeth. I don't want to see nobody say, nah, it's in it. No, because I take shit serious. You know why I take shit serious? Because this is the house that I built. I work hard for this. It's my 20th year on YouTube. 20. 20 years of content, over 20 years of content. Some of y'all not qualified to question or qualified to criticize. Well, you could criticize. That's anybody. It could be critical. I ain't mad at that. But you're not qualified to question somebody's reasoning why they doing shit. And some of y'all is the reason why people don't even like telling what happened to them, because you're gonna say they full of shit, although it's the truth. Silence is loud. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But always tell your story. Something happened to you and it bothers you. You tell the therapist, right? Sometimes the audience is your therapy. Sometimes some of the feedback might not be to your liking, but it could be positive enough to give you a different outlook or a different insight towards things. That's okay. But all that, why now? Oh, you must be telling stuff to you want a bag or the money ran out. Yo, everybody don't do shit for money like y'all think. Everybody's not about, oh, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna get, everybody don't think that. Some people just gotta get it out because it's something that's been eating them. There is no money in certain things. Especially if it's somebody, and I'm gonna be real with you. You call me what you want. There is no money in sometimes any black woman talking about what happened to them because nobody really gives a fuck. Some dudes will be like, oh, that bitch. I see it. So any woman who could come out and tell some of their stories is brave to me. Is bravery to me. Especially something that's embarrassing, that they're going to look bad telling a story. Any man who comes out and tells certain stories, of course, it takes a certain bravery to say certain things. That's why I always taken on the stories I've taken on. Is that a word? Taken on, taken on, looking on, book? I don't know, whatever. I said it. That's why I've always taken on the stories that I've taken on. I mean, shit, if I didn't take on certain stories, a lot of things wouldn't even exist. Shout out to Bleak. I see Bleak doing stories. I did some of them shit 17 years ago. But people get to live off of what I did, either knowingly or not knowingly, intentionally or unintentionally, but I can't. I'm not allowed to live off no narrative that I created. I'm not allowed to reintroduce an interview that I did, but everybody else could do my interview. Does that make sense to you? It don't. So I just wanted to say that to y'all, the audience. If you're trying to be free mentally and you're trying to free your spirit and you're trying to free your mind, the best way to do that is by journaling, writing you a book, or speaking to somebody who's going to allow you the room to speak. I suggest y'all all do it. If you add it on somehow in this culture or they have a whole YouTube page. And I'm going to shout them out because I like their content, called Soft White Underbelly. Watch that. I watched that one night and I was like, but I never said, why now? There was women on there, grown-ass women in their 50s, late 50s, talking about how they used to smash their grandfather when they was like 8, 9, just wild shit. I never said, why now? Why is she telling this now? I was like, wow, this shit really happens. What's some of the signs? How could I get the education from this? Because I got little ones in my family, and I want to be able to see the signs of things that's abnormal or things that might not be right, and I didn't pick up on it. So I watch everything for educational standpoint. I don't be like, why now? Because they might be talking about somebody beats that I like, or somebody raps that I like, or somebody got a podcast or something that I like. And it's like, oh, they're trying to destroy them. They're trying to take them down. And as much wrong as some of these niggas did to people, more people gonna talk. And guess what? I'ma be here to listen. And if you want, come over here. You know what's coming out. So with that, I'm Doggie Diamonds. Until next time, let me give y'all some information real quick. And if you got a story you want to tell, hit me up on IG at Doggie Diamonds. Hop on this special offer. It's a 35-minute interview that includes social media promo. It could be live stream or tape. And an additional guest could be in your interview. Hey, 2 of y'all could come tell some shit. I don't care. Just hit me up. And until next time, peace. Make sure you hit that like, share, follow. And if you hit the spinning logo, you can subscribe that easy. And then you can watch these 2 related videos over here. And in the first pinned comment is gonna be the J.R. Writer interview on Patreon. Make sure you check that out. Doggie Diamonds did this.